What's going on, y'all? Back with the for the streets, man. It's AK Showtime. Look, man. This video gonna be about Bill Maher. Um, Shout out to Comedy Hype. Just seen the video. Where they was talking about the whole Bill Maher situation. People on Twitter, people on Facebook was talking about it. And they was talking about the joke he made. On Real Time with Bill Maher, his show on HBO. And I'll put the link in the description for the YouTube video that I watched because it's talking about a whole bunch of other different things. Talk about a whole bunch of other different things that are going on recently. But they got the clip of Bill Maher calling himself a house nigga on Real Time with Bill Maher. So yeah, like this senator, I guess from like Nebraska or whatever. I don't know the dude's name, but they was joking around and like the senator made some type of dumbass remark talking about, yeah, Bill, I would love for you to work in the Nebraska cornfields with us one day or some dumb shit like that. And Bill Maher responded like, work in the cornfields? Like, Senator, please, I'm a house nigga. And then like he said it like jokingly, but it wasn't a joke. Like, come on, dude, like just because you love black pussy and you fuck black pussy, that don't give you the right to say that shit, even in a joking way. Even in a joking way, nigga, you ain't had to be Michael Richards, you ain't had to say it like Michael Richards to get blasted for a motherfucker. And you know that, you know that. And I know he gonna come back next week and apologize because he gonna see the backlash and he gonna see all the bullshit. Even HBO came out and said that what he said was fucked up and unacceptable, and they don't condone that type of shit on their network. And this is the same network that'll sit up there and you know have have blatant bias against you know black boxers and shit. You know what I'm saying? But even they was like, you know what? Even they was like, you know what? It's fucked up. We can't have that shit. And now I wonder. Now see, we seen what happened to Michael Richards, right? We seen what happened to Michael Richards, and he was on the downside of his career. I get it. He was on the downside of his career. He wasn't like really that known outside of like being Kramer from Seinfeld shit. And he was trying to like, I guess, kickstart his career because comedians go to the Laugh Factory all the time to restart their career when they really not doing nothing. They in between roles and shit in movies and stuff like that and TV. Um, but after that shit, he was pretty much done. I think he went on Letterman and made one like fucking little concession speech and shit and said, "Oh, I'm sorry for using the word woo woo woo." And he had motherfucking coon ass Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and shit behind him. Like that shit was gonna make that much of a difference. I mean, they pretty much did that shit just so they can have some coons up there to make it seem like, oh, we forced him to do this shit because he had to do it. He had to make it right. Nigga, fuck Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. But anyway, that was that situation. And then we all remember the whole thing with Bill O'Reilly and shit, and all the little dumb shit that he would do in terms of fucking with black people and shit, and all the backlash that he would get. And he just got fired this year. He just got fired a couple months ago. But I have a feeling that he'll resurface. They like motherfuckers like Bill O'Reilly in this society. Don Imus. Don Imus was another one. With the nappy headed hoes comment. I just busted out Jason Whitlock coon ass for what he said about LeBron. But and then we got the Kathy Griffin shit yesterday with the little Trump head, and I ain't have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Motherfuckers was talking about, oh, I had one of my friends, uh, a black chick, say, oh, as much as I like dislike Trump, Kathy Griffin's little display was distasteful. I'm like, fuck that motherfucker. Fuck him. I don't care about what she did to that dumbass mannequin head or severed Trump head. They got a Snoop Dogg for that shit when he was shooting at a Trump mannequin or Trump looking like in a video or some shit. They got to him and they got to Kathy Griffin. I don't give a fuck what they do in terms of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Do I want to see him get, get hurt, get John F. Kennedy and shit? No, obviously not. You know what I'm saying? I would never wish that on nobody because that's, that's something you can't come back from. But, and the display that Cat Griffin did was a little graphic, but at the same time, like, that's her right. That's her right. And I'm tired of these motherfuckers on social media sitting up there and getting so sensitive over everything. And blasting every single thing that you see on social media, whether it's black, white, Hispanic, everything from all different creeds, all different races, all different sizes and shapes. I'm tired of motherfuckers blasting their own people. I'm tired of motherfuckers blasting different ethnicities. The stupid shit that they see on the fucking internet. What Kathy Griffin did wasn't really that fucking bad. To be honest, I mean, she could have done worse. But motherfuckers wasn't saying that shit when they had motherfucking Obama dolls hanging from fucking nooses and shit, and had motherfucking newspaper editors drawing illustrations of him with bones in his nose and plates in his lip, and having him look like a motherfucking a caveman type looking, savage with wild beady, bucked up hair that they look like he ain't been combed in several months. But and not to mention his wife. They called him nigger, they called him nigger and, threaten his life and all this other little dumb shit, man. But they mad about Kathy Griffin and that Trump head shit. And motherfucker, and like I said, they fired they fired Bill O'Reilly. They pretty much exiled Jason Richards. I mean, Michael Richards from Hollywood. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen to Bill Maher, but my guess is he probably ain't going to get fired. But I mean, because he one of the highest rated shows on HBO. Besides boxing, they don't have shit on HBO that you can really watch. I mean, Girls is one with dumbass Lena Dunham. And I think House of Cards is the other one. And House of Cards I like. So they can keep that shit on, do their little thing or whatever. But outside of boxing, Real Time with Bill Maher is the really only real program that they have on HBO that's really about shit. So in terms of what they're going to do, I mean, they came out with that statement and said, oh, it's unacceptable. I mean, they might suspend them and shit. Might have a few weeks where you ain't going to see them on TV and shit till the shit blow over. Or at least they think it's going to blow over. But they're not going to fire him. They're not going to fire him. I mean, they're not going to fire him. I mean, you could press him and call him, but they're not going to fire him. I'm just telling you that. I'm not saying, oh, it's hopeless. Like they can't. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but they're not going to fire. I'm just saying this is how these networks work. They don't fire their cash cows. They just don't. They don't fire their cash cows. Trust me. One of my favorite shows on TV is Family Guy, and that shit got canceled 3 times. Why is Fox not canceling that shit? As it's gone, further and further, I guess, down the tube, and I can be objective about that. You know, it's kind of become unfunny to me a little bit. But why is Fox not cancel Family Guy? because it's still a cash cow on Sunday nights. During the animation domination block on Fox. You know, Seth MacFarlane has done a great job of convincing them execs at Fox to keep that shit on the air. And it's gonna be the same thing with Bill Maher. Like, it might die. It might eventually die a slow, painful death. But you're not just gonna pull a bullet. You're not. It's not going. It's not gonna be a headshot. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be suicide watch for Bill Maher and HBO because I mean, look, what he did was unacceptable, and I'm not saying, oh, we're fired because people out here just are just like HBO condoning that shit. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they fire, maybe they don't. But you gotta consider the optics. You gotta consider the optics of okay, if they fire him, then what? I mean, they lose. I mean, they lose some. They lose some loyal viewers. They lose a lot of money, and they lose some sponsorships. I guess if they get advertising for a show. Um, like I said, it'll take some time, but eventually they'll fire him. And like I said, they'll probably definitely suspend him. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing shit out there because I'm just thinking about the optics. I understand what people want them to do, and I want them to do it too. Cause I mean, and I like Bill Maher. You know what I'm saying? I like this. I like this shit. And to me, I up until this point, I've heard him say way worse shit. Up until this point, I've heard him say way worse shit. That I probably thought, oh, this motherfucker gonna get the axe. But this is it. I mean, he might be done after this. But like I said, I don't know. I mean, I gotta consider all the options. Like from HBO's standpoint, what the fuck are they going to do? If he they cash cow, you know what I'm saying? What are they going to do? Uh, but in terms of this situation, he deserves to be fired. At the very least, suspended. If they're not going to fire him, but I got a feeling that rage and that backlash is gonna come back on HBO hard as shit because it's already coming back on Bill Maher. And HBO had to put out that statement, I guess for PR purposes, but at the same time, that backlash gonna come back on them hard if they do not fire this man. So, like I said, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I know what they should do, but I don't know what they will do because of the optics, because of the circumstances, not just based on the comments. Because they got things to think about as a network too. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know, people can call up there and say, oh yeah, fire Bill Maher, fire Bill Maher. And all they're going to do is suspend them. All they're going to do is just be like, put out a little bullshit statement and then be like, yeah, we reprimanded them and shit, and, it's unacceptable. Props to HBO for putting a statement out, though. Because, I mean, they could have just flat out ignored it. But props to them for putting out a statement. Um, I mean, like I said, man, Michael Richards, Kathy Griffin, Don Imus, just other examples, you know. But I mean, at the same time, this ain't 2000.